Yes, and welcome. It's not the fan zone actually, but it should be. We're talking about the rest for the World Championship slots as far as athletics is concerned. And I'm glad to have John Verstein. He's a sports writer and athletics, of course, journalist. Karibu sana, John Verstein. It's been a while. Great to see you again.
Great to see you. Tell me now why. It's been a minute.
But we've been meeting out there, right? So it's been all beautiful
in
the fields, yes. But looking at, we just have like two quick things to talk about, 3 or 4 items on our schedule this lovely afternoon, but more so rest for the World Championship slots, that's hot enough. But of course, what happened on Thursday is where we begin with. That's the Faith attempted to run under 4 in the 1.6 kilometers. That's the 1 mile race. What's your general perspective about how she performed at this particular event, missing out with just 6.6 seconds?
6 seconds, Faith, she's a beast. She's a beast on her own, and I think it's all about learning processes. And you remember also about Eliud when he started his journey to run under the 2 hours. He went to Monza, you remember the track, and he failed terribly. Yes, he didn't clock that the intended person.
Below 2.
It was a running process, you see. And he picked up, the whole team picked up, and then Ineos came into the game, and they perfected the game, and then he ran under the 2 hours mark. So for me, Faith going under 4, she will make it, and I think Faith will make it on her own in a race, a normal race.
In a normal race,
Faith will drop
with no laser lights.
Yes, with no laser lights. Laser lights are always there. They'll be running, but we know this crowded the way she was bombarded. And for me, again, I think the people the structure they used to put together. With Ineos, it's all about blocking the winds, but with this one, it was all about pacing and just covering her around because there was no wind that was coming because it's her track event.
Inside the stadium.
Inside the stadium. So for me, on my own perspective is she did what she could. She gave her very best. She ran a race that she has never run in her life because running 4.6, that one, it reveals the potential that she has if she's pushed the limit. And mind you, these are the very last time she's running on the track because she's considering from next season going to the road. So for me, I'm looking at it as the organizers of this event, they could have allowed the people that Faith trains with back home in Kaptagat. Yes, these are the people who know and understand her. They talk together. They have been training since January with Faith. So they understand her paces, they understand her movement, they understand the body language, they understand the pain that she gets, they understand when to slow down, when to pull, and when to ask, hey, come on, let's do it, So, and they fail to do that because it's all about the sponsorship. And this one is all about, we are looking about, again, the branding rights that they are getting and then the commercial aspect of it. So that's where we went. But on my very own is that Faith gonna do that thing on her very own in a normal race, pushed by people that are just running for the glory of that day.
That day, right? So she'll make it. Looking at the splits for the race, quite blistering one in the opening lap, right? Second
opening
one
lap, killer kick. The second one, again, there was killer. The only thing is now the second, the third, and then the fourth. But we saw the fourth, actually, she fell down because the energy was not there. And then the men who were pacing her, especially the European individuals, they didn't understand the strides because they have not sat with her. They just had Faith for 2 days.
She was boxed.
And she was boxed. And then the training, when they reached in France again, you saw where they were training. They were training outside, not in the pitch.
Yes, sure.
So again, they didn't understand. Pacing is all about studying where, you see, in Kenya, especially on marathon level, we call it the rabbits. Somebody who is just determined to destroy you.
All began by the legendary Kipchoge at the 1968 Olympics.
Yes. So I think these people, they never came to understand the strides level, how she's moving or how she's running. They never studied that pattern. And I think if they could have allowed our individuals, the people that Faith trains with, Faith stays with people. These are people that are her colleagues. Faith happens to go home on Saturday, like today. This is the day they have broke the camp till tomorrow evening, because you have to be in the camp on Sunday evening, so that Monday it's normal work. These are the people that understands her. They have been with her for the last 6 months preparing for this, and then the coach was there. These are the people that understands what is happening. You know, when to slow down, when to kick, and when to give your all. But the people that were put at the front, they didn't understand that. That's where the failure came. I think the next time when that race comes, if they'll consider to listen to Faith's coach, I think they'll make. But all in all, again, it's all about money in this world.
For real. And what impact did it have for Faith and the rest,
for
especially
herself,
for
she
athletics?
has proven to the world that we are still the world beaters. Kenya, because they didn't pick the Ethiopian. They never picked the European. Because for us, there's consistency. Every day we are producing champions. We are a championship country. We know how to handle the pressure. We know how to bring in those funds. You see, the sponsorship, the branding world, the commercial world, the marketers, they know who can bring money back, you know. For using Faith for that event, you see, and almost 800 million people watching that 4-minute race, because when you miss it, it's done. It's done. It's just 4 minutes. So you see, because for me, actually, I was rushing home on a motorbike watching, you see, because I knew this thing, if I don't do it the right way, I'll fail and I'll not even have something. You know, watching and listening or being told, those are two different things.
So or rewatching after it happens. Those are two different things.
Yes, those are two different things. So I think, again, the emotions, you know, when you watch post an event, they are not detached. That emotional.
You're detached. You already know the results.
You see, we interview an athlete after finishing the race. We don't wait for the athlete to go and rest or change. Come
immediately
back.
So that she can express what she's feeling like.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And that's the most privileged position that us sports journalists find ourselves in. You know, we get to know or talk to them in their moments of glory or agony, just seconds after agony. You know, like when Ekwam fell, that was crazy. It was on his birthday. The Olympics, imagine. Such an interview. Anyway, so for Faith, I mean, that really builds her towards the World Championship, right?
It's a profile building. One thing is that money has come in, you know, because she has not competed in any race. And you know, Faith, right now, her appearance fee is globe-blustering. I think her appearance fee, we are talking about from around 27 million going ahead.
Kenya shillings.
For
just her appearance, to come and run.
To start on that start line.
That's equal amount that maybe Akina Wanjiru were making at the time of his death, right?
Well, you know, those are talents that we had. And I think now for you to cancel almost 5 races that have happened, the Diamond League Championship for these races. It means you have to recoup everything, and then you have to add on something. And then you saw how she was again carried from Kenya. You know, she was a private jet came to pick her. It was only a 16-seater plane, and nobody was allowed with top security that were there. And then there was an escort plane that had, because the team that left with Faith, there were around 8 people, you see, including the coach and Elliot, and those that were helping. So this one was a special moment for her. I think it's one of those glorious moments any athlete wants to be. You know, Faith has achieved everything that anyone wants, because she's a world champion. She's an Olympic champion. She's the most medaled athlete in the history of running in Kenya. So she has everything from cross country, there's nothing else that she wanted. Actually, this one was the epitome of her success.
And looking at all that, definitely it has also helped her grow as a person, and it was interesting to see her eloquence and that, you know, articulating a post-race interview.
Actually, Faith is one of them. You know, we say when people express themselves, you know, Faith is one of those athletes that never runs or chance away from a journalist. You know, we have had issues. You know, when I came into this journalism, I think 16, 17 years ago, it was terrible for such people like us to get just an athlete. You had even to use the coach, especially I remember using Kirwa. There's a time I wanted to interview Ezekiel Kemboi. So I had to use Kirwa. Unamtafuta mzima. That man was terrible. That man was terrible. And there's a time he went and hid in flowers on the flower base at the the airport.
What
And the
happens-
team was traveling.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to process what he's been doing, or what's
At
the problem?
that time, you know, they were the people.
The stars,
They
yeah,
were the
man.
stars.
The
So
3,000 meter steeplechase was
why
home,
should he want
and they were the
to?
greatest, you
He
know.
was-
but
he's
I
still the
think,
greatest, actually.
yeah, for real,
steeplechaser
still the
we
greatest.
ever
Yeah,
had,
sure. I mean, for world titles, right?
Yeah.
For Olympic golds as well.
So it will take years for us.
Yeah.
To be there. Even right now, again, if we
Looking-
just talk about the trials.
Yeah, I mean, and look at Reynolds. Was it not Reynolds, but Simon Koech.
Simon Koech,
the former world under 20.
Yes,
right?
yes. Actually, we are depending on him, and you know, with championship.
And the bronze winner at the Olympics, Kibiwott.
Kibiwott is
Abraham
there,
Ham.
but again, look at the shape that other people have. Look at the Ethiopians. We have around 4 Ethiopians who are in top shape. Look at El Bakali, what he's doing. He destroys. That man can terribly destroy you. So it's for Kenya. Again, at this World Championship, maybe we look at the Olympic. We can reclaim what we used to have.
Yes,
Yeah.
and also maybe some other also interesting or enterprising youngsters who came through was Reynold Cheruyot, who did, of course, Timothy is
veteran.
A veteran, yes, but you know, paving way and knowing that this world under 20, the youngsters are now, you know, transitioning to senior levels.
You know what has been a major hindrance even for the growth of sports in Kenya is facilities. We don't have facilities. We don't have training grounds. For the last 2 years, Kenya has no training grounds.
Yeah, and it's a
so
shame
you find
that
even Timothy now, he shifted base. Timothy now stays in South Africa. So
where he can access the facilities.
Where he can access the facilities. We don't have a fully functional stadium that we can go and train as championship.
And it's a shame, even in Kaptagat there's none.
It is so shameful. You see, look at Nyayo now. They made that thing,
the tartan,
the funny thing. Which tartan? They put cement there. They have not even put there. A whole country cannot afford glue to put.
But they say that day they say it's hold at the airport.
Which
JABA.
Till now, how many months are those? Around
many
3
months.
Actually, our Minister of Sport, and I'm sorry to say this, our Minister of Sport, the current Minister of Sport, has failed the sporting fraternity, especially athletics.
A lot needs to be done, right? Look at where we took the Kip Keima Tulins, you know, such a substandard. Anyway, looking at the trials and how the national trials ended yesterday, Omanyala, of course.
Amazing, actually. Omanyala
10.08 m.
Leave even 100, that is, nobody can beat him at home. 200 meters,
Babu
he went
and
for
Steve,
200, and then he was beaten to second, but now he's looking for time, which was a good thing for him. Then, but the rest that stood out is the 400 meters. For the very first time in Kenya, we have 3 people who have gone to World Championship, and then we still have a Kwam. I hope he will go and look for more races, because we still have till August to make the qualifying count. So I hope, I hear he has some invitation around 3 races for him that he can use to help him qualify. But I'm happy for these young people that have come in, Tinega, Korir, and then Mutinda, a new kid on the block. It's 45 they ran below. They ran the last one, Mutinda ran 44.98. So we are good. I think if we get that combination, if we get the facility right, if we get the training ground right, or we get those things. But one thing I'll praise that these people are taken out of this place.
Yeah, for the sprint training,
like Omanyala now, almost the whole of this year has been outside the country, training and training and giving his best so that he can get that perfection.
Yeah. Other notable, at least just as we wind up, Lilian Odira trying to meet us.
Odira, yeah, you
punching,
know,
of course, having already made it.
We talked sometimes in January about Odira, and I had projected that this year will be Odira's year, because when you look in November and December, those the cross country races, Odira was hitting those marks and beating whoever, who in the field. But the funny thing is that she has not picked as per the expectation. You know, with cross country, it is preparing because it's an endurance race. So it's building you up for that endurance, so that when you come to the track, you just flow. You know, two-lap race. Because look at Mary Mora. She has not run any cross country races, but she's still beating them. You know, you know, I talked to her before on the eve, and she was telling me, you know what? This is a championship race. I'm running for my for my employer. I have to put
police,
my everything. Yes.
Uh-huh.
So she outkicked them, and Odira has not actually picked as I expected. And look at the year. We are in the second half part of the year.
But wonderful performance at Kipkeino, right?
Yeah. Wonderful performance for helping to reclaim that title. Although we didn't have those big names, but again, we have to appreciate whatever comes.
Yes, and finally, maybe Yego. We know he already has the ticket to the World Championship. But 79.27 meters.
Yeah, 7.9. No, he threw recently in where he was outside for a continental tour. He threw 84. So he's picking
season
up
best,
the season, season best, 84. And the qualifying mark is 85, which he scored at the Olympics. So we hope now he has the new gear, the sporting gear. That I didn't know that thrower is that expensive. It's so light. It's very light. It's in grammage.
The Mkuki
itself. And it's 136,000. One Mkuki. One Mkuki. So he has around 5.
You need to have 5.
Five of them. So, and I saw again with the beast. You remember this former world championship who came here? This guy that was
from
here.
Grenada?
From Grenada. Peters.
Yeah, Peters. Yes.
Anderson Peters. Yes. And he used also those, and then I was asking the coach because these are championship where they train from, and I was too close with the coach of Anderson Peters because I wanted to see what he says or what he has to talk about Diego. And he told me amazing things. He said Diego just needs a good coach. Diego has everything. And then one amazing thing he told me is that Diego still has one throw.
He still has one throw.
He still one.
What does it mean?
Throw. It means that he can throw a world record. He still has that one throw to throw a world record before he goes into
and he's always been talking about it.
I pray and wish him.
Coming.
The body, you remember at Kipkeino interview, he said the body is still there, but it's just not that
responding. And he doesn't know when to respond, but he's working on it.
But one time I still believe in him.
So anyway, hope to see you at the National Trials on 1st and 2nd, right?
Yeah, 1st and 2nd. I hope you are going to Nakuru because the Ulinzi Stadium is already booked. So I pray we go to Nakuru. We also experience life outside Nairobi.
We take it to Afraha, right? On the blue tartan.
The blue tartan, the best that we have, although it's not sanctioned. So they're just going to pick 1, 2, 3 as per the rules, or 1, 2 as per the rule.
Thank you so much, John Vaslin, sports writer, athletics journalist, for making your time and also sharing insights with us as far as athletics concerned. It's an athletics here, so every athlete out there is just chasing the World Championship times or qualifying marks, which will continue on the 1st and 2nd when the national trials will be held after the culmination, of course, the national championships on Thursday and Friday. That's it on the second session of the interviews. But remember, we talked about this. Fan Zone is coming up, and Club World Cup is going to dominate. Maybe, Vaseline, who are you rooting for in this Club World Cup? Just before we go, I'll let you go.
There are funny characters, Flamingo.
South American clubs are going there. Flamingo, are you from Nakuru maybe? But anyway, I'll see you on the Fan Zone.
Son, it is